Yeah, go. Inshallah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى ال سيدنا مولانا محمد وبارك وسلم سبحانك لا علم لنا الا ما علمتنا انك انت العليم الحكيم وتب علينا انك انت التواب الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Before we start, Minhaj, we are calling Ali because he asked me the dua. I sent you the dua. What is the dua from last week? Faris taking attention, and I'm going to ask Faris for next inshallah. He asked for the dua. Does anybody remember the dua for last week?
It's Askar now.
Huh?
It's from the Askar now.
It's from Askar now. But what is the dua? Anyone know?
اللهم أسلمت نفسي إليك.
Yes.
وجهت وجهي إليك. ووضع أمري إليك ووجهت ظهري إليك رهبة ورهبة إليك لا ملجأ ولا ملجأ منك إلا إليك اللهم آمنت بكتابك الذي أنزلت ونبيك الذي أرسلت.
Good.
Inshallah. Very good.
So mashallah, we'll go over it one time. I'll say it. This is the last dua we should make before we go to sleep, right? Last things we should say before we go to sleep. Allahumma aslamtu nafsi ilayk. Oh Allah, I submit myself to you. وَوَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِي إِلَيْكَ. And I turn my face to you. وَفَوَّضْتُ أَمْرِي إِلَيْكَ. And I turn all of my matters over to you, Ya Allah. وَأَلْجَأْتُ ظَهْرِي إِلَيْكَ. And I take support from you, Ya Allah. رَغْبَةً وَرَهْبَةً إِلَيْكَ. Having love in you, hope in you, and fear in you. لا ملجأ ولا منجا منك إلا إليك. There's no support nor place of protection from you except through you, Ya Allah. آمنت بكتابك الذي أنزلت. I believe in the book that you sent down, وَنَبِيَّكَ الَّذِي أَرْسَلْتَ, and the prophet that you've sent. Right? This is the dua. Do you remember, Faris?
I'm reading every day, but
Okay. Inshallah. Then we'll remember. So next week I'll ask again. This week, inshallah, I'm hoping, if Allah Ta'ala gives the tawfiq, we'll finish the bab today. We'll finish the chapter. There's one dua in here you have to learn. This one is probably even more important to learn, especially to teach your children. But that's the second hadith. The first hadith is from Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala. So before we go forward, let me ask you this. What is Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu's actual name? Abdullah. And what is his father's name?
Abu Abdullah.
His Abu Quhafa is his kunya. What was his father's actual name? Abdullah bin Usman. So Abu Bakr radiallahu anh, his actual name was Abdullah. His father was known as Abu Quhafa, but that was his kunya. His father's actual name was Usman. Okay, so عن أبي بكر الصديق رضي الله تعالى عنه عبد الله بن عثمان بن عامر بن عمر بن كعب بن سعد بن تيم بن مرة بن كعب بن لؤي بن غالب القرشي التيمي رضي الله عنه. This is his lineage. وهو وأبوه وأمه صحابة. And he and his mother and his father, they were all Sahaba. So Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu was one of the few Sahaba who had this honor that not only did he become Muslim, his father, mother and children all became Muslim. And when did his father become Muslim? His father became Muslim at Fath Makkah, when he was one of the oldest people in Makkah. And Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu was so happy, right, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him this honor. His entire family became Muslim. And there were many times in the middle, like Abu Bakr, his son, I believe it was Abdullah, he wasn't Muslim, and he fought against his father in the Battle of Badr. And he told his father after he became Muslim, "Father, I had a chance to kill you on the Battle of Badr, but I turned away from you because you're my father." Abu Bakr said, "If I saw you, I would have killed you." Right? Because he was coming to the deen of Allah. Well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him to give him all of this, to give him this honor. And about Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, so much can be said, and we've given khutbahs about it, we've talked about it. It's enough to say that he's the only Sahabi that's referred to as Sahabi in the Quran. No one else. Right? Zayd radiallahu anh is mentioned by name, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِذْ يَقُولُ لِصَاحِبِهِ, when he said to his companion, إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَنَا, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with us. And another thing that can be said about him is once Aisha radiallahu anha asked Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, is there anyone who has as many good deeds as the stars in the sky? It's not like here, when you go outside, you'll see a few stars. But if you ever go to like a place, like one time I went to Indonesia, long story, I was there. But it was like a village. So over there, you'll see more stars than darkness. There are so many. There's this dark sky park about 2 hours from here. If you go there, same thing. You see so many stars. And I'm sure that you guys have seen it here and there. When you go out, you'll see so many stars. So there's no pollution in Medina. So he said, does anybody have more good deeds than stars in the sky? He said, of course. Umar. Aisha radiallahu anha's attitude changed. So what happened? She said, I wanted to hear my father's name. He said that Umar's entire life is equal to one night that Abu Bakr spent with me in the cave. Right? That's his entire life. Now imagine the rest of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu's life. Every sacrifice he gave for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away, he said, I've paid, before passing away, near his death, he said, I have paid back anyone that's ever done a favor to me, Muslim or non-Muslim, except for Abu Bakr. Only Allah can pay back Abu Bakr for all he did for this deen. And in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refers to him as Atqa. In Surah Al-Layl, the most pious, Al-Atqa, after the Prophets, Abu Bakr radiallahu. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that the sun has never risen on somebody, after the Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam, of course, besides more than Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala. This is that individual radiallahu ta'ala. So what did he say? رضي الله عنه قال نظرت إلى أقدام المشركين ونحن في الغار وهم على رؤوسنا. He said that I looked at the feet of the mushrikun while we were in the cave at the time of the hijrah, وهم على رؤوسنا, and they were over our heads. فقلت, I said, يا رسول الله لو أن أحدهم نظر تحت قدميه لأبصرنا. He said that if any of them were to look down, they would see us. فقال Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Ma zannuka ya Abu Bakr? What do you think, Abu Bakr? This name, Allahu thalithuhuma." About two people when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the third. This is muttafaq alayh. This is agreed upon hadith by Imam Bukhari and Imam Muslim. What's the background for this? This is the hijrah of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Right? When things got extremely difficult in Makkah, right? After the Mi'raj, this is Rajab, so we have all the talks about Isra and Mi'raj, though you can't say with any certainty that it took place in Rajab. There's in many places it's become famous that Isra and Mi'raj took place in Rajab, but there's not, there's many opinions about when it took place. Even I got invited to Sheikh Abdul Karim's place this weekend to give a talk about Isra and Mi'raj. But anyway, after Isra and Mi'raj and all of those things, right? Now, what happened? Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was finally given the order to migrate. Who set the stage in Medina? Mus'ab bin Umair radiallahu. He had been working there for 1 year now, and now the entire Medina had become Muslim. They wanted to invite Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to come and stay there. The same time, Allah's plan is such that the mushrikun, they're planning to assassinate Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on that night. During the day, in the afternoon, when it's hot, when everybody takes a nap, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had his face covered and he went to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu's house. He said, Abu Bakr, I'm planning to go to Hijrah. I want to take you with me. And this is Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr said, Alhamdulillah, I've been making dua for this, Ya Rasul. But he wasn't just a person who made dua. What Abu Bakr would do is he would take practical steps. He took Rasulullah to the back of the house. He said, Ya Rasulullah, these are 2 camels. I bought them, I fed them, I have like all the luggage that's needed for a long journey because I hope that you would ask me to go on Hijrah. This is a lesson for us too. If we want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to honor us in some way, take the steps beforehand, right? Make intentions beforehand. If, the youth retreat is, I think they delayed it till after Ramadan now, but let's say that there's so-and-so speaker coming. If you want to be driving them around, take the weekend off or take the Friday off from work beforehand. Then when you actually make yourself available, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it attracts Allah's mercy, and then you will get these different honors, you'll get these different opportunities. So Abu Bakr already purchased all of this. Rasulullah said, fine, yes, I'll take it, but I'm not going to take it for free. I'll pay for the camel. So now at night they set out and they left Makkah. I'm shortening the story. But they left Makkah and they arrived in a cave. There's a way that they went to Medina. Where is Medina? North or south of Makkah? North. They went south. Right? Initially, Rasulullah, Abu Bakr, they went south. And they stayed for 3 days. They stayed. Why? Because they wanted the trail to be lost. They didn't want the people to go ahead towards Medina because they know a lot of people have become Muslim there. So what they did was they hid in this cave. So now the people of Makkah, they're putting rewards on Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam's head, and they've gotten people who are expert guides who can identify footprints, right? So now they're going and they're looking for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Me and Abu Bakr radiallahu anh, they go in a deep cave. It's not like a cave that you walk into, you go down, so it's dark. The mushrikun, they arrived there. Their guide, he says that I see Abu Bakr's footsteps. He said that. And I see the footsteps, these footsteps, they match the footstep in Maqam Ibrahim. Meaning Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his footstep was like that of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. But it's stopping over here. I've lost the trail. And where are they? They're at the mouth of a cave. And what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do? He sent a bird, and the bird had a nest over there with its chicks. And a spider, it made a web over the cave. They said, there's no way that the Sahaba, that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Abu Bakr radiallahu anh are down here. How could a web have formed? Now they're deep, but they see them up. They hear them talking. They hear their voices. So Abu Bakr radiallahu anh is nervous. So he says to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Ya Rasulullah, if they just look down, they'll see us. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, again in the Quran it says, إِذْ يَقُولُ لِصَاحِبِهِ لَا تَحْزَنْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَنَا. When he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said to his companion, radiallahu anh, don't grieve, Allah is with us. And over here, in Abu Bakr radiallahu anh's word, he says, Ya Abu Bakr, what do you think about two people when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the third? The reason that this is in the chapter of Tawakkul is why, look, we make plans. Our plans, inevitably something goes wrong by the other. At those moments, we should know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has His plan. And His plan will be such that He will take care of us. وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. The one who trusts in Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be enough for him. Before we move to the next hadith, which is the dua, okay? Let me ask you a question. Why does Abu Bakr radiallahu anh not have a lot of hadith that he narrates? A lot of people, they have this problem. How did Abu Bakr radiallahu anh, how does Abu Hurairah radiallahu anh have so many hadiths? But how does Abu Bakr radiallahu anh not have so many?
He dedicated his time, his life to collect hadith.
That's exactly what it is. Look, Abu Bakr radiallahu anh, he wasn't somebody who had a lot of free time. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anh, he dedicated his life to gathering the hadiths of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, no doubt. But then after that, what he would do was he dedicated his life to disseminating it as well, right? Not only did he want to be with Rasul, like one thing is if your life is to help somebody who's very important, you're side by side with them, you'll remember all of the experiences, but you're not actively trying to record every single detail, right? Because you're so busy doing everything, right? You're actually with them in the thick of things. And then later on, when that person passes away, you carry on their work. You don't have any free time. Whereas Abu Hurairah radiallahu anh, in Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's time, he didn't have so much responsibility. He wasn't actively making decisions like Abu Bakr radiallahu anh, Umar radiallahu anh, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But he was allowed to be there. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam allowed him to be there. And then, along with that, afterwards he sat and he would just narrate a hadith, to the point that some Sahaba would say, why are you doing this? You're doing too much. But he responded to them. He said, you were in the markets. I was with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I was hungry. You guys were making a living. I dedicated my life to preserving this. That's why I'm passing it on. But after Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam passed away, what did Abu Bakr radiallahu have to do? Immediately he has to do with deal with the Ridda wars. He has to deal with this. Along with that, his best friend passed away. You know, the Muhaddithun, they say that Abu Bakr radiallahu, he didn't pass away from any real sickness. He passed away from a broken heart. What happened was, what it should have been, just like Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's head was in Abu Bakr's lap in the cave on the night of Hijrah, he should have died in Abu Bakr's lap as well. In this world, he should have left this world like this. But it would have been too much for Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala an to have handled at that time. So for that reason, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put the substitute. The substitute was the daughter of Abu Bakr radiallahu anh. Because that day Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he got a little bit better. So Abu Bakr radiallahu anh, he said, let me go and visit my wife, my other wife that lived outside of Medina. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, okay. And by the time he came back, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had passed away. If Abu Bakr radiallahu anh was there, he wouldn't have been able to control himself. But the fact that he wasn't there, he was able to stand up and even tell Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala to calm down. He was able to settle everything and take care of the ummah so that all the matters were solidified. And then he passed away. One day, randomly, he took a shower, he got sick, he passed away. Muhaddis would say he was still grieving from Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam passing away. It's a reality. Look, you have a relative that passed away. Even like my khala, she passed away like 3-4 months ago, November. Even if I think about her, I get sad. So now imagine that connection Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu had with the Nabi of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Same with Fatima radiallahu anhu. For 6 months she passed away. Why? Broken heart. She lost her Nabi and she lost her father. Both. Okay, so this is why you have a lot of hadiths that are narrated by him, but in terms of seniority, in terms of knowledge, in terms of practice, piety, no one is equal to Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala. There's somebody, the kids are arguing with me. So how did you get so many? Look at the number of hadiths of Abu Hurairah. I said, just drive around with me for 1 month. You'll have 1,000 of my hadiths too. Right? You just have to record different things I said, different things I said. He picked up the phone, he yelled at somebody, he told somebody, read, he did this, he said this. Okay, you'll get a bunch of hadiths like this too. Right? Okay, now we move to the next hadith. التاسع, number 9. عن أم المؤمنين أم سلمة رضي الله تعالى عنها واسمها هند بن أبي أمية حذيفة مخزومية رضي الله عنها. This is from Salama radiallahu anha. Salama radiallahu anha, what was her real name? Her real name was Hind. You know what Hind means? It means India. So why did so many of the Arab women, why did they have the name Hind? Do you know? Anyone know? Because you'll see, like for example, Abu Sufyan's wife radiallahu anha, her name was Hind radiallahu anha. It's a common name. If you read like books of Arabic, when you're learning Arabic, there's Zayd, Amr, Khalid, Hind, right? And Zayd.
Because they like the spice.
Yeah, but why is it him? But yeah, that's why. You know why they said they used to consider Indian women to be very like exotic and beautiful. That's why they used to name their daughters Hind. It's considered beautiful. So the Indian women are considered beautiful in their time. So they say that they used to call their women, they used to name their daughters Hind. Here's another question for you. What were the 2 most common names in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's time? Women names. You know, it wasn't Hind. The 2 most common names. Even now, they're probably the most common names in the communities. Fatima was one, Zainab was another. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he had a daughter named Fatima, he had a daughter named Zainab and 2 wives named Zainab as well. Fatima means somebody who's cut off, or like from Fatim, right? But like for weaning. But what Fatima means is cut off from man, meaning pure, chaste. Khadija has a similar meaning. Zainab is, some scholars they say it's from Zainu Abin, the beauty of the father, right? The father's beauty, the father's prize, treasure. That's how we get the name Zainab. So anyway, I was going to do more hadith, but we'll just do this hadith. This and the next one, they're connected. So she said, أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان إذا خرج من بيته قال. Nabi صلى الله عليه وسلم, when he would leave the house, he would say. And the narration of Abu Dawood rahimahullah is ما خرج رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من بيتي إلا رفع طرفه إلى السماء فقال. He never left my house without looking towards the sky and saying, what is this dua? He would say, Bismillah, tawakkaltu ala Allah. That Bismillah, in the name of Allah, I seek the protection of Allah. Tawakkaltu ala Allah, I place my trust in Allah. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika an adilla aw udalla aw azilla aw uzalla aw adlama aw adlima aw adlama aw udlama aw ajhala aw yujhala alayya. So now this and the next hadith, they're related. So this is going to get long. So I'll just leave it. We'll discuss all of it next week, inshallah. But we'll try to memorize the words. There's 2 ahadiths like this. One is Bismillah tawakkaltu ala Allahi wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. That's the next hadith in the chapter. This one. The other is this. Bismillah tawakkaltu ala Allah. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min an adilla aw udalla aw azilla aw uzalla aw ajhala. Or there's the one, some narrations say aw adwa. This one says aw adlama aw udlama alayh aw ajhala aw yujhala alayh. So inshallah, we'll memorize this for next week and we'll discuss the meaning of these hadiths next week, inshallah.
Uzlam or Azlam?
Both.
Azlam or Uzlam?
Yeah, both are good.
Both, yeah.
Yeah, أظلم أو أظلم, correct. So inshallah next week we'll go over this, inshallah. So you have the sleeping dua to memorize. You have these two duas. Bismillah, the first part is easy. Bismillahi tawakkaltu ala Allah. Rasulullah said, always said this when leaving the house. One after that, wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. We already know wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Put them together. And the other one, Bismillah tawakkaltu ala Allah. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min an azilla aw uzalla aw adilla aw dhalla aw aghwa aw yughwi alayhi aw ajhala aw yujala alayhi. Azlam and aghwa, there's different narrations of these. I'll send you the dua too if you ask me, but I'll call on you next week to see if you memorize it as well. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah.
Leaving the house is okay.
Yeah. So this one, Rasulullah says never left the house, at least Salama radiallahu anhu's house, without reading this to me. And this one, because the words al-azilla or uzalla, that I don't slip and that I not be made to slip, the scholars say due to the jawami al-kalim, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's, the comprehensive nature of his words. If you read this in the winter with the intention that you won't slip, you and your car doesn't slip, inshallah will protect you as well. Tell him that the snow is gone next year. You've learned it this year for next year.
It is not over yet, okay?
Starting tomorrow. Inshallah.
So learn the dua today.
Okay, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen.